Alice time field is soon upon us. She is a physical anomaly agent and I've tried it out extensively on the creator beta servers, and in this video I'll give you the pros and the cons with Alice and basically help make up your mind if she's a skip or if you should go for her. Hello everybody, welcome to the channel, my name is Hako. So I've tried out Alice extensively on the creator server for over a week now. I've had a lot of fun with her. I've also seen people being conflicted. Should they go for her? Should they skip her? We have Jane Doe, we have Piper, etc. So let's break it all down and view it from all different angles. We're still under embargo, so I can't show you any of the spicy stuff from the creator servers yet, but in a few days, so stay tuned. But what I can talk about freely is my impressions of her and some general guidance is she worth it, should you pull for her, etc. So let's break it down so you can make a more informed decision regarding Alice's banner. Number 1. Is Alice strong? Yes, she is. I'd put her as the third strongest character in the game after Yishuan and Miyabi. Alice is extremely deadly even outside of her own element. One gripe with getting a physical agent is that we don't have too much physical weak content, but I've pitted Alice against everything and the scores have been honestly kinda insane. Number 2, how much stronger is she than Jane and Piper? Because that's one of the things that Alice has going against it, is that a lot of people that were playing would have pulled for Jane Doe when she released because she was a very hyped character. And the best A-rank carry in the game happens to be Piper. So obviously a big question people are gonna be having, how does this new shiny 2.x agent compare against what we already have? And from my benchmark test against different content, Piper ends up on 39, Jane Doe on 44, and then Alice on 54. This is with their own signature engines. So Jane on Sharpened Stinger, Alice on her signature one, and Piper on a fully starred up Roaring Ride. So the overall team score increased from Piper to Jane around 15%, and from Jane to Alice around 30%. Number 3. Is Alice just a Jane Powercreep? Yes and no. Alice fills the same roles as Jane, but she also has a lot more versatility. One of the reasons why Yanagi is still so highly regarded, she was released in 1.3, and I think most people would still put Yanagi at the very top of a tier list, or at least very close to the top. And the reason that Yanagi has aged so incredibly well is 1, we haven't had a proper power creep to her yet, and also 2, her ability to cause disorders at the click of a button, no matter what's happening, is incredibly valuable in a lot of teams. Now Alice also has this feature. Now when Alice has enough blade etiquette, she can hold her attack button, and she will do a really neat attack that causes an assault on an enemy, and that assault will cause a disorder with whatever attribute anomaly that is ailing the enemy, even if it is another assault. And that is an incredibly neat feature and one of Alice's biggest strengths, and you can create really positive feedback loops with other disorder-focused agents like Miyabi, and especially Alice and Miyabi honestly feels really amazing to play on the same team, because they both want the same thing to happen. They both want disorders to happen and they gain a special resource for it. And since disorder seems to really be the way forward for anomaly agents, I imagine that that part of Alice's kit will also age very gracefully. Now for number 4, or are we at 5? I think number 4. Let's talk W engine. Alice W engine, her own signature one. I'm not sure if I can give you specific numbers exactly what it does, because I don't think that that's official yet, so hold on a few days. But I can tell you the results of running it. And honestly, Alice's engine gives her such an insane boost in power, and it all boils down to the fact that Alice transforms Anomaly Mastery after a certain threshold into Anomaly Proficiency, and with the amount she gains from her own W engine, she goes absolutely nuts with her signature engine. So remember the benchmark testing when they all were on their signature engines? Well, Alice's power drops kinda significantly, and instead of providing kinda 30% overall team score, you are looking at an increase of 10 to 15%. So more similar to the jump from Piper to Jane. Now I just need to make this clear, this does not mean that Alice is a bad without the signature engine. With another engine like Jane's engine or Fusion Compiler, she is more in line with other normal agents, but with her own signature one, she almost becomes like a Void Hunter level in terms of like performance. But she clears super well and with good margins on like existing engines. But the power spike she gains from her own engine is kinda ridiculous. And now for number 5, can you run Alice and Jane together? This is a question I've received a lot, and I've even made like its own separate video, kind of talk about it after I tried it out for like 48 hours. And basically, yes, Alice and Jane, they can be ran together. At the base kit Jane's like M0 is not gonna outperform certain teams like say Vivian or Bernice in Jane instead. This does have its merits because Jane allows Alice to crit with her assaults. At M2 this becomes so potent, so like against physical weak enemies, this basically becomes Alice's best in slot teammate together with Yusua. So if you're already sitting on an M2 Jane, there are going to be certain contents where that Jane is going to outperform other Anomaly characters like Bernice or Vivian. And this is one of the nice things with Anomaly characters, they do like work as colleagues in a lot of cases and not necessarily just as competition. And I think my own personal Alice team when it comes to live servers is going to be her together with my Jane and Yusua. And number 6, pull, what should we call this? Pull priority. If I were to like rank Alice from like a 1, where it's like a easy skip, to a 10 being a must pull, where would I put her? I put Yusua at a 9.5 because she provides so much value to your account at M0 even without her engine. So like very easy investment to gain a lot of value for your account. Now for Alice, this is gonna be on an account to account level. If you already have a Jane with her signature engine, you know, are you like, do you need to do the upgrade to get through anything? No, not really. And like I touched upon earlier, Alice has to go up against like the strongest A rank we have in the game, which is Piper. And Piper, like with a good supporting cost, you know, she can still easily get through any content in the game, at least against anomaly weak content. But the weaker supporting cast we have around our Piper, you know, the more she will struggle. So there will come a time in the future where it is time to, you know, upgrade our Piper anyhow. And like I said in the beginning, the versatility of Alice is like one of her biggest strengths. You can use her as Jane though, like on-field carry, but she can also be used as like a sub-DPS in a Miyabi team or like with any other Anomaly team. And in the way that the core passive is structured, she provides such a massive boost to any sort of like disorder team, especially paired up with Yusua. And without this disorder mechanic and without her like polarity assault, you know, she would have been maybe a 4 out of 10 in like, you know, full worth, or, you know, maybe even slightly lower. But since she has the polarity assault, and we know that this is a mechanic that makes Agent, you know, age very gracefully, I am tempted to give Alice a 6 or a 7 at the current state. So maybe let's go with 6.5. So, number 8. When should you not consider pulling for Alice? Well, 1, and this is a super big one, peeps. If you don't like Alice, you don't like her design, you don't like her personality, you don't like the way that she plays, because her and Jane, they have very like different types of playstyle. And I can fully see that some people prefer Jane's, for example. The best way to have fun in these games is to play with fun characters that we enjoy playing, we enjoy the design, we enjoy all of it. And the game isn't really hard enough, so you should go out of your way to pull characters you don't want, just for meta reasons, because, you know, it's not that hard. Instead, it is more important to have fun and pull on characters that you do vibe with. Me personally, I'm going for Alice, at least M1, maybe if, you know, if RNGs are with us, maybe M2, but the big one for me is gonna be picking up her engine. And I'm pulling on Alice because I do love her as a character in the story, and I also really do like her playstyle. But she does fall under, you know, more the luxury category, especially if you do have Jane. And some closing words. I make these videos to try and showcase all of the benefits, all of the cons, and like just everything regarding a character. I try to do it in an unbiased way, so like even if I like the character, I try to like keep it objective and like look at it from, you know, a value standpoint for your account. And I'm more into like laying out the information as it is and like leaving the decision up to you rather than, you know, telling you to skip or, you know, pull. I try to talk about the characters after I myself have had like hands-on impression on them, so I can give you like as much accurate information as possible. But everybody, it's getting late and I need to go back on the creator server to record more Alice stuff. And like I said, the embargo lifts in a few days, so expect a lot of like real Alice combat footage coming out very goddamn soon. Also, your boy has been working hard. There's 2 new designs in the merch store. One is a Spook Shack design featuring all of the lovely members of the Spook Shack, which is kind of becoming one of my new favorite factions, although they don't beat the Caledons. And another one is a design just focused on Alice time field. I'm very happy with how it turned out, and I've now had the request to like do a similar matching one for Yusua, because that would be kind of cute, and I do agree, so I'll see what I can get cooking. And you can use the code SPOOKSHACK to get 10% off your entire order. Link to the store in the description. Everybody, let me know your thoughts down below on Alice. Let your fellow community members know what's your reason for pulling, what's your reason for skipping. And as always, thank you so much for listening to me yap off into the void. Have a big hug, and until next time, Hako out.
Oh, I wish that you could just take it easy. Lay back, fast the way I roll. So get off my tail, or else you will get to say hello to my jolly sharks. Got up like, don't you know? Don't you know? You should know that I'll fight them all. These sharks got up like, don't you know? Hurry up and get it done, but don't run my patience to the ground. If you need me here, these sharks got up like, don't you know? Ooh, yeah, you better keep on. When I try, I'm second to none. Ooh, 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 you will get to say hello to my dog. These sharks